Centuries ago, sailors navigating the edges of the known world faced a severe problem. To mark the boundaries of unexplored waters, they filled their maps with illustrations of horrifying leviathans attacking ships. These drawings were meant as a dire warning. Venture beyond this point, and the ocean will consume you. Take the Norse legend of the Kraken. Fishermen described a beast so massive they initially mistook its resting body for an island. With tentacles thick as shipmasts, they believed it could reach from the abyss, splinter a galleon, and drag the entire crew down to the dark floor in seconds. The most terrifying detail about the Kraken is its biological reality. Sailors were actually encountering the giant squid. Science dismissed it as a myth for centuries, right up until a massive carcass washed ashore, proving these deep-sea predators existed in our world. The ocean covers roughly 80% of Earth's surface. That is an incomprehensibly large, pitch-black volume of water, where humanity simply cannot see what is moving beneath the waves. It leaves us with a massive, terrifying blind spot. As we map these waters and invent new ways to probe the depths, the creatures we imagine hiding in that darkness do not vanish. Instead, our monsters adapt. They evolve right alongside the technology we built to find them. Before satellites could track pressure systems or GPS could pinpoint a reef, launching a wooden ship into the open water meant stepping into total chaos. A clear sky could turn into a deadly squall with zero warning. To cope with an environment that routinely swallowed ships whole, ancient cultures gave that violence a face. By turning a senseless natural disaster into a living creature, sailors created an enemy they could at least comprehend. In early folklore, the sirens served this exact purpose. When an experienced crew inexplicably steered their vessel off course and crashed onto jagged rocks, people back home blamed pale, sharp-toothed women whose hypnotic voices lured men to their deaths. Similarly, when a hurricane threatened to destroy coastal villages, it was personified as Jörmungandr. This world-wrapping Norse serpent served as the literal representation of an apocalyptic storm, rising from the depths to bring total destruction. Some folklore feared to silence. The Japanese umibozu, a giant faceless shadow, and the Scandinavian sea eater were said to appear when the wind died completely. They rationalized the unnerving calm before a storm and the reality of boats vanishing in still waters without a single splash. These early leviathans were psychological tools. They allowed navigators to mentally process a daily battle for survival in an environment that was indifferent to their existence. As centuries progressed, scientific methodology began to replace superstition. Digging into the earth revealed remains of colossal, prehistoric predators, proving that the ocean had once housed beasts that rivaled the old myths. Paleontologists proved the existence of the Megalodon, a 60-foot shark capable of crushing cars. A single fossilized megalodon tooth could easily measure up to 7 inches long. Its sheer scale forced people to wonder if such a creature could still survive deep in the ocean. Then there was the titanoboa, discovered in Colombian coal mines, a prehistoric snake the length of 2 buses, weighing over a ton. It ruled ancient swamps with enough constricting power to snap a crocodile's spine. You might expect the invention of the camera and early sonar to clear up the remaining mysteries of the deep. Instead, early 20th century technology provided just enough distortion to give birth to modern cryptozoology. In 1933, an ambiguous photograph taken at a Scottish lake showed a dark, curved silhouette on the water. Even though this surgeon's photo was later exposed as a hoax, that blurry image kicked off a global obsession with the Loch Ness Monster. Canada experienced a similar phenomenon with Ogokogo. Ancient indigenous beliefs about a lake spirit merged with shaky 20th century video footage. Because Lake Okanagan is so massive, a grainy video of a floating log is easily interpreted as a 40-foot sea serpent. This misinterpretation extended to audio. In 1997, acoustic sensors picked up an ultra-low frequency sound across thousands of miles of ocean. Dubbed the bloop, people speculated it was a Lovecraftian beast sleeping in the abyss, until experts confidently matched the acoustic profile to a massive glacier breaking underwater. The emergence of paleontology and early camera technology shifted the narrative of the sea monster away from supernatural deities and toward biological terrors, often built on a foundation of misread evidence. Today, Our oceans are monitored by thermal satellites and deep-diving autonomous drones. Yet the sea monster has survived the information age by digitizing itself. In the early 2000s, Japanese internet forums created the ningen. This creature is described as a 100-foot-long, pure white humanoid with no facial features, swimming silently beneath the polar ice. What makes the ningen myth compelling is its setting. The stories always feature commercial research vessels in the freezing, isolated waters of Antarctica, leaning entirely on our natural anxiety about the most remote, inhospitable corners of the globe. We see the same pattern with El Gran Maja, a colossal, multi-eyed leviathan that exists entirely in digital folklore. This myth thrives by attaching itself to out-of-context audio clips and glitchy footage taken from deep-sea expeditions. These digital cryptids exploit the mechanical limitations of our own machines. When a remotely operated vehicle shines a tiny cone of light into a pitch-black trench, the heavy silt and poor visibility create ambiguous shapes. Our brains instantly fill that static with teeth. Even with fiber optic cables crossing the seafloor, our psychological need to project nightmares into the remaining dark spaces is just as strong as it was when we were sailing wooden ships. Oceanography has systematically dismantled almost every supernatural tale we've invented. We have mapped the currents, identified the ice quakes, and categorized the prehistoric fossils. The irony is that the harder science tries to illuminate the ocean, the more aggressively pop culture and online communities cling to the idea of undiscovered leviathans. Sea monsters serve as the ultimate mirror of humanity's ignorance. Whatever form they take, a surviving dinosaur or a faceless glitch on a screen, they always take shape right at the extreme edge of our technological reach. Because massive portions of the deep trenches remain completely unexplored, we have to live with a lingering doubt. The giant squid was a myth for centuries, until it wasn't, which means something else could still be waiting in the dark.